My name is Bianca Gascoyne and I studied both of my degrees at the University of Pretoria. My undergrad was a BSc in Actuarial and Financial Mathematics, and my postgrad was honours in Mathematical Statistics. My role at RMB is what we call a transactor or deal maker, and I'm currently in the real estate investment banking team. Essentially, we come up with the financing structures for clients in the real estate sector. At the moment, every day feels different, but essentially, it depends on what process of a deal we're currently in. If we're trying to initiate or pitch a deal to a client, our days revolve a lot around financial modeling, problem solving, trying to figure out how much debt can we give this person. If we're already implementing and past the stage of this is what we want to give the client, it involves a lot of reading of legal documents, interacting with all the various stakeholders that are in the process, trying to get mortgage bonds registered, or our clients trying to make sure that what we're doing is what we need for them. As well as internal, we've got to make sure everyone in the bank is happy to be putting this risk out there. The most surprising element in my time so far at RMB has probably been how much responsibility gets given to us at such an early part of my career. Joining this massive bank, real corporate opinion is what I had of it, and I was proven wrong. It's not hierarchical. Everyone in my team, we have the same title. Although we have seniors and juniors, we all work together. There's no handing off the stuff no one else wants to do. We're part of it. We've sit in client meetings from the beginning. I wasn't expecting that. A major skill, and this probably largely comes from my time of doing actuarial science, is my time management. It was an intense degree. We had a lot to get done, a heavy workload to memorize and study. Our days are so busy that you have to know when and how to do what you have to do. Definitely learning to manage my day came from my studies. The transition from university to work, to be quite honest, was a big adjustment. I found that my studies were all within my control. I learned when I had to learn, and it was up to me to push myself to do that. Working, there are so many other people's expectations that you now have involved in your day-to-day, and I found that quite pressurizing and quite difficult at first. But I also realized is that my studies, again, were myself, whereas now you're in a team, you've got more support. Coming to terms with using that support was an adjustment in itself. So the transition's been harder than I thought, but not impossible. In my final year, my honours year, when I was really looking for work, something I wish I'd told myself then was that your academics only get you so far. Yes, that's how I got into the door here at RMB, but beyond that first interview, it was all, who are you? And a part of me was a bit reserved. I didn't want to expose too much about myself when in actual fact, that's all they really wanted to know. So I think in terms of being work ready, be happy with being yourself. Just walk into every room. You don't have to own the room, but if you're more comfortable in being yourself, you find it easier to interact with the people around you. You get asked a lot why you chose to do actuarial science, and stereotypically the answer is, I really liked maths. And I'm one of those stereotypes. Maths always came easy to me at school, and the natural progression was, okay, what's going to challenge me more? What's going to happen after school when things aren't so easy? And I knew quite a few actuaries. They were all male, and I kind of thought, well, why can't I do this? The natural progression was everyone, when you're leaving school, starts asking, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I felt this big pressure to do something big and difficult. So I chose actuarial science. I then happened to meet one lady who was doing it, and I job shadowed her, and I just thought this I could do. She was, however, in the insurance world, and I was pretty adamant from quite young that I didn't want to be in the insurance world, and somehow my steps kind of led me into banking. The advice I'd give to young girls is, if you're passionate about it, just keep going. It doesn't matter if the proportions of your class are skewed. You can really shine, and it's really up to you. If you love doing it, just do it. To do for fun as much as possible. Whether that be running, reading, cooking, playing paddle, meeting up with friends,